Greetings and welcome to our show. My name is David Recht and I am director of the Crystal Temple in Portland, Oregon. And I am going to speak today about the metaphysics of healing. First, I'll give you a little bit about my education and history. I have been studying metaphysics and alternative healing for the last 20 years. It has always been my dream to open this temple to facilitate a space of healing for all people who wish to come. It's a non-denominational center that allows for everyone to learn and grow in body, mind, and spirit. My study has included all different types of spiritual healing, working with the different energy fields of the body, and the ability to create a healing space that nurtures the mind and the emotions of the people so they can relax and find their own healing. I've studied for many years on my own and have lately been studying for the past 6 years with the Modern Mystery School, whose head teacher, Mr. Gudni Gunnarsson from Iceland, has been probably the most amazing and inspirational man I've met. Here at the temple, we offer a safe space to explore all these ideas and to work with healing on a daily basis. Today I'm going to share with you some of my insight into how healing can benefit each person in their life, and exactly what is the healing process? How does it work? The lecture I'll be giving today has application to all forms of spiritual healing, from acupressure, acupuncture, Reiki. It applies to all of these and more. It is the true essence of what happens in the healing process. And I hope that in this lecture you can come to understand how the healing process works, and through this understanding, embark on a path of self-healing that'll take you into a better life. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is what exactly is healing. You may go through your day and have different feelings, both physical, mental, and emotional, as you experience your life in your day. And what is your general attitude? Are you feeling great? Are you excited about life? Are you feeling well as you go through the day? Do you look forward to today? If not, then maybe some healing would benefit you. This lecture might help you to understand what's necessary to make things better. Healing is not necessarily have to do with a physical condition, such as a broken leg or damage to your skin or organs. These things need healing too, but we would work in our realm to heal any disease or dis-ease in the body. Anything that makes you feel less than what you could possibly be. Anything that does not bring you joy and good feelings can be changed to a better condition. So understand that healing can come on many levels. Healing can be physical, such as the mending of a broken bone or the repair of a cut. It can be mental, such as if you are upset about the activities going on in your life. Maybe something happened at work that has you upset and you're worrying and thinking about it. Well, this is something that can be healed, so you can be free to think good thoughts and feel well. Or it can be emotional, where somebody has done something that has caused you to feel an emotional pain of hurt or anger. And these things are not beneficial for us either. And this is another area where healing can come and be benefit. In my opinion, the cause of all of these types of healing has to do with a spiritual nature. It is my belief that everything is spiritual first before it becomes a thought, an emotion, or a physical object. In fact, we as beings came from the spiritual realm, and we existed prior to our physical bodies. And as our spiritual bodies came here to this realm and connected to the physical, birthing a physical body through the magic created by our parents, we brought our spiritual selves into this physical realm to have these experiences and learn and grow. So the type of healing I'll be speaking of today has to do with spiritual healing and a correction of the energy, which then manifests itself as the things we experience in our life. And by correcting the energy, we then have a better, more pleasant manifestation, and we get more joy and pleasure from our lives. This also ties in with self-empowerment and the ability to create for you, for yourself, a life that you enjoy and take pleasure from. Now we're going to go over to the board here, and on the whiteboard I'm going to draw a diagram for you to help explain some of these concepts. And now we're going to get into some of these concepts a little deeper so you can have a better understanding of the healing process that takes place. First, we're going to talk about the human energy system on a spiritual level. And there are many different energies that make up this system. There's the etheric energies, the auric energies, the elemental energies, the energies of the chakras, the energies of the Kabbalistic tree of life, and the magnetic fields. All these things combine in a complicated way to create the energies of our bodies and to work and nurture and feed the physical systems of the body. One important energy system we need to understand is the chakra system, and many people are familiar with this. There are 7 major chakras, one up here at the top of the head, which is called the crown, and this creates our connection to the higher dimensions or spirit above, to God. And one at the bottom, called the root chakra, that creates our connection down to the physical levels, to the earth. And then a total of 7 from the root, what they call the sacral chakra or the hara chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra in the center, which balances the upper and the lower energies, the throat chakra, and the third eye chakra. Now there's an energy that flows from heaven to earth and back again, that flows up and down this chakra system. And if you look at that in a diagram here, we have the earth below us. And as we are standing here on the earth, we have energy which flows through us from the higher dimensions above to the earth below. And also from the earth below to the higher dimensions above. And this is our connection to spirit. This is sometimes called the central core. Now, the farther you go up this central core, the more spiritual in vibration you get. And you actually move out into space where it's a vacuum, and all that exists is the pure potential life force energy of spirit. And as you go down, things get more dense, of course. And you actually have the physical materia, the matter. Everything that is in the physical in fact, everything that exists, has a form, blueprint in the spiritual realm, which tells it what form to take. And just as we came from spirit into the physical to have this experience, so did every physical object come from spirit into the physical to be manifested. And this process is ongoing. There's an important physicist who actually discovered a number of the elements on the periodic table. His name was Walt Rollo. And long ago, he explained this phenomenon and how this works. And the light, or the spiritual energy, actually spins in upon itself tighter and tighter and tighter until it forms what we know as the atom or the atomic structure. Well, at the same time, energies are unwinding or unspinning into a greater and greater circle to form what we know as light, or even beyond light, the pure essence of spirit. So this process is ongoing all the time. And this is an important foundation of physics for understanding the process of healing within the human energy system. The thing that controls how spirit takes form is the will. As we go through our day, we make choices and we place our focus on this thing or that thing. And wherever we put our focus, we put our energy. And it is through this focus that we create in our lives. This has been talked about in great detail in movies like The Secret. So as we focus on things, energy flows into them and makes them manifest within our lives. So this will actually affects the container that spirit comes into to take form. And so the wills actually form the etheric field, which is the blueprint for physical formation. Now, where this comes into play with the healing process is, as we are going through our life, we come upon certain circumstances. And if we do not like the circumstance, we form a resistance to it, a judgment of some kind. And when we do that, it creates a resistance to the flow of our energy. Just imagine the energy flowing from spirit down through your chakra system and your central core, and then manifesting the events that take place during your lifetime, during your day. Now, as this energy flows in, and something happens which you don't like, you create a resistance to that flow because you are not enjoying your experience. And as you resist that flow, that frequency, whatever it is, stops flowing within you. And as this happens, when it stops flowing, it creates a blockage here. Now, this process has been going on our whole lives. When we were born and we came in pure and innocent, and things were flowing freely, but it wasn't long before experiences taught us that things could be dangerous. We could be hungry. There are times when we felt uncared for. And all these things hurt us emotionally, causing us to resist this flow of light that creates our lives. And as we resisted, these blockages appeared in our energy system in different places. This little blockage here I've drawn near the heart. So there might have been a time when this person as a child felt like they weren't cared for properly. Maybe their diapers weren't changed when they needed them, and they laid there and felt uncomfortable and miserable for a half hour, and so they felt like they weren't loved, they weren't cared for. and thus creating a blockage in the heart, a resistance to the flow of love. So now, as they go through the rest of their life, and the love flows down from spirit into them, some of it gets blocked here in the heart, and some of it passes through and out into their life. But as it blocks in the heart, it grows. This blockage grows. And over time, through different events in our life, different things that we have used our will to suppress, to judge, or to resist, we end up with blockages in many places around our energy system. Of course, a lot of these may be up around the head with our belief systems, different judgments that we've made that you have to work extremely hard to be successful. Well, a belief like that's not going to support you in your life, is it? Because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you will have to work very hard to find your success. And if you don't believe that you're working hard enough, you'll never find your success. So as these things come into our energy system, they start to build a huge subconscious reservoir of programming, which then manifests our life as though we are not actually in control of it. In fact, most people are only 5 to 10% conscious of what they're manifesting in their life. And this movie, The Secret, where we've all learned how we can create our life consciously by determining what we're going to create. Well, that's part of the secret. But the other part is to get rid of all this subconscious programming that is working 24 hours a day to create the life that you're experiencing. And until we get rid of this subconscious programming, most of our energy is wasted here instead of consciously creating what we want in our lives. So, with these blockages in our energy system, remember that this energy is always flowing from heaven to earth through you. And as it flows from heaven to earth through you, the light flows through these blockages. And as the light hits them, it creates a magnetic field around them, which then draws to you experiences of the same nature. So back to the example of this blockage in the heart. This person felt as though they weren't loved because something happened, an event, and they didn't feel cared for. And as the light comes into this blockage, it gets distorted by the energy that's there. And it sends out a magnetic field, because when light hits material, it creates a magnetic field. And this magnetic field draws to it something of a similar nature. So what this person will actually experience in their life is another person coming to them in their life, and this person will mirror to them back this experience of not being loved. In some way, they will stimulate those same emotions and feelings within this person. This is a metaphysical fact, and this is just how the universe works. So we are constantly re-experiencing the things which we have resisted. This is why many spiritual paths teach you to allow and accept everything. Because this allowance and acceptance and the letting go of all judgment and resistance is the way to avoid this situation causing harm. Because in this situation, there are two paths that can take place. In one path, the person has this experience where this person makes them feel unloved. They renew a connection with this blockage, they resist it again and they don't like it, and thus the blockage grows even bigger. And once it grows even bigger, it has even more power to manifest this event in their life. The other path that can take place is this person stays calm, stays relaxed, even though this experience is taking place, and stays in acceptance and love. And through this acceptance and love, the energy flows into the blockage and actually starts to dissolve it away. Because through their will, they have decided to create a space of acceptance and love instead of using their will to resist and stop the energy flow. And as long as they can stay in that unconditional acceptance, this blockage will continue to diminish. And it might not completely go away with this event. But if there's some left, it'll draw forth another event at a future time and give the person the opportunity to clear and release the rest of this blockage, thus freeing them from the karma of this repeating over and over in their lives. So this is my explanation of the healing process. Within us, we have all these blockages that we have created ourselves over time. Some are emotional, some are mental, and some have actually started to affect the physical. Because if you have a blockage here in the heart, it limits the spiritual energy that can nurture that area of your body. And over time, you can develop physical dis-ease in that area. Uncomfortable energies or pains or aches, or maybe even a physical dysfunction where your heart stops working at its optimal rate. So mental, emotional, spiritual, all tied into these blockages that we've created over time within our energy structures. And in my opinion, the healing process is a matter of clearing these blockages away and releasing this energy back to spirit. As I spoke about spirit and matter and the metaphysics of how they interact, what has happened with these blockages is the light coming in, since you resisted it, has been slowed down, it has turned in upon itself, and it has become more solid, more physical, more dense. And the opposite is what needs to happen. You need to bring your conscious awareness into the area, and as you do, the light from spirit will flow into the area, which will then cause the blockage to unwind, unravel, and turn back into light, pure light, and thus eliminate these blockages, creating a clear pathway for spirit to flow through you and out into your life. And once these are eliminated, you have the ability to consciously create the life that you want, without all this subconscious baggage controlling your creation and manifesting without your knowledge. And this is the healing process on a spiritual level. Okay, so to kind of wrap things up here, we've talked about how this healing process works within you as you go through your day and you go through your life. And it can be difficult for people to do this on their own. And you may be interested in getting assistance from somebody who does spiritual healing of one form or another. It is my belief that this process is pretty much universal and applicable to all different forms of spiritual healing that practitioners do. So your understanding of this process will assist you in getting the most out of any healing session that you might choose to participate in. So what is the role of the healer should you choose to go to a practitioner? And how does it relate to this process that we've talked about here? Well, as you have these blockages in your system, what has to happen for you to release this is your consciousness needs to be brought in to this blockage. Your conscious awareness must be brought into this subconscious blockage. And so to facilitate this process, there are some important things that must take place. First is this is something you did not like, and that's why you resisted it. So you must feel comfortable and safe with your practitioner. The atmosphere and the energy in the space should make you feel relaxed and at home and comfortable to go into an area that might be hard for you to deal with. So you need to have a good rapport or trust with the practitioner that you choose. The next thing is the practitioner needs to hold a space that allows you to access the energies in this area. So the practitioner needs to be able to work with the frequencies that have to do with this type of blockage. So to just make this simple, if you have a blockage in the heart that has to do with love, you need a practitioner that has an open heart and can love, so that they can bring forth the energies of this area of your energy system so that you can connect into them and feel them, and that therefore bring about a release of the blockage in that area. So these are a couple things I'd look for as you go searching for a practitioner. Thank you very much.